That is, the South Indian always says that what the rest of the country is doing, the South Indian has already been there, done that. But today, the South Indian is hurt, the South Indian is scared, because when hope dies, there is little hope left. But guess what? The South Indian is not going to give up. The South Indian is going to hope for a better tomorrow, particularly for our children. You know, when does hope die? When our children are struck by the disease of discrimination and any kind of vile violence. The reference is to the brutal assault on the sibling in Neri town in Tamil Nadu's Tirunelveli district on 9th of August, where a Dalit teenager and his sister were brutally hacked by schoolmates belonging to an intermediate dominant caste. They used a sickle to attack the siblings. The siblings are right now in hospital. The boy, all of 17, was continuously being harassed by his classmates, allegedly belonging to the intermediate caste, who would not only heap caste slurs on him day in and day out, but also ask the young boy to run errands like fetching them lunch and other tasks. Clearly, the instructions came from a place of superiority. When the boy complained about this harassment to his teachers, and of course his parents also knew, because the boy was sitting at home not wanting to attend school, a bunch of teenagers, that is his classmates, entered the 17-year-old's home at 10 p.m. at night and attacked him with a sickle, and also his young sister, who came out after hearing the commotion to protect her brother. As always, the politicians made them several visits, made all the right noises, and of course also promised to support them. But what this proves is the rot which has entered the young minds of students in Tamil Nadu. What is most shocking is that school-going children now wear caste bands to class. Yes, you're surprised, but you heard it right. No, not friendship bands, but caste bands in different colors like yellow, green, red and saffron, depending on their caste in such schools. It is also a fact, ladies and gentlemen, that this trend of students being identified by their wristbands is a very common sight apparently in several schools of northern and southern Tamil Nadu, where the caste organizations have a major say. Even as the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam or DMK constantly speaks about self-respect, Swayamaryadai in Tamil, and quality and annihilation of caste, Tamil Nadu, it also has a commission for scheduled castes. It seems to have failed in controlling caste atrocities, and now with children involving themselves in such gory incidents revolving around caste superiority. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has of course set up a one-man commission headed by retired Judge Justice Chandru, but before that it's the civil society which has decided to intervene, and known as the Dalit Intellectual Collective, a group of eminent individuals. They visited the Neri village to take stock of the caste violence perpetrated by teenagers, and as a first step have suggested that caste bands be banned immediately in schools in Tamil Nadu. Please, I am not judging these teenagers, they are also children, but look how it permeates their thinking and their minds. This organization, this collective, has also urged the state to monitor every event that invokes caste pride and form a special squad to prevent caste-based harassment in educational institutions. I know what all of you are thinking. What about the deterrence? Of course there are deterrents. The SC and ST Preventive of Atrocities Act, the police's intervention is always there, the local thanas or rather the local police stations, the local administrations, the panchayat etc., but it is clear that all seem to have failed, and the much touted Dravidian model inspired by Thandai Periyar to overcome caste hegemony has so far been destroyed. But as I said, the South Indian will not give up hope. We shall see to it that there is an improvement. Dr. Selvi Ganesh, vanakkam. I can't hear you, ma'am. You'll have to unmute.
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me now?
Yes, vanakkam to you, Dr. Ganesh.
Vanakkam, ma'am. Vanakkam.
You know,
I can't see you though.
You can't see me, but you can hear me. So,
Yeah, sure.
you know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I can see you, Dr. Ganesh, and it's such an honor
Okay.
and privilege to have you. I'm just, you know, this is really something which has been very, very disturbing. You know, as a South Indian, I do a show called The South Indian. I've always said that so far as caste atrocities is concerned, the South, I think, comparatively has done well from the rest of the country because we've had awakenings right, you know, decades earlier than the rest of the nation. But look at this incident. Look at this incident. And in the north, people are very shocked that children wear caste bands or wristbands to school. Dr. Ganesh, considering that you are part of this collective, why don't you tell the viewers about what are these wristbands, doctor?
The wristbands, I think, I don't know where it started, how it started. I think it's not, it's of recent past. I don't think it's been there for a long time. I see two things. One is children of that age cannot actually think of doing such things. I'm sure there are some elements from behind working, instigating the children to follow such norms. So these norms were not there when we were in school and all, it was not there. But now it is a trend which is started from how, where it is coming. I think there are certain trainings going on in every nook and corner of the villages. They are teaching them to hold on to the tradition, the culture, how it was before. So your identity as Hindu and all those things have been taught and put into the minds of small children.
So would you say this is one kind of dangerous radicalization when we speak about terrorism? When we speak about how certain groups are actually indoctrinating young minds into thinking against the nation and the country, do you think this is also very, very serious radicalization which is going on in many villages in Tamil Nadu, Dr. Ganesh?
Yes, yes, yes. Because it's something like people have come few steps ahead in terms of, you know, anti-caste movement and things like that. So this radicalization is taking them back again. You know, the next generation is very much in danger. Yeah, and the government must do something about it.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about, the government. We have a Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam government, and whether it is DMK or AIDMK, if you remember Sengotian, the education minister of AIDMK, when he was told about these wristbands way back, when his government was in power, he had said very clearly, I will do nothing to see that these wristbands are banned. This time around also, I am asking you, what is the education minister doing, whether it is Ponmudi or whether it is the other people, what are they doing? What about Tandai Periyar's no caste and caste annihilation? What about Annadurai? What about Kalaignar and so many other people? For past 3 decades in Tamil Nadu, Dravidian parties have been ruling. What are they doing? When their children are getting indoctrinated, and those 2 children were hacked by sickle. Aruval, you know, like we say in Tamil. I mean, is this the way we want to see Tamil Nadu, which does very well in all the other indices, Dr. Selvi Ganesh?
Yes. So in every index, Tamil Nadu is ahead. So there are elements which is working from behind to pull it down or bring it backward. It is not only just the indoctrination, but it is also, we have this drugs, ganja in every child's hand. Every school children has, you know, access to this. So this is combination of both. Indoctrination with respect to what we call, you put what in the mind, in indoctrination with what we call the actual what we call drugs, you know, which is also being served. So in thought, also indoctrinated, and it is also the stuff, the matter is been given to them. So that is also causing the thing. So it is not just one; it is two things which is working simultaneously over there.
Pankaj, like ma'am said, Dr. Selvi Ganesh said that maybe in Tamil Nadu it is reported.
Right, but in
Other
North
states maybe it's not reported, it's happening everywhere. That's a shame, because the only book that you and I look up to is the constitution of this country, and I think there is an SC/ST Act in place, but look at this case. And but Pankaj, what stands out for me? This government, this Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam, it stands, the Dravidian party's ideology is about no caste, annihilation of caste. To enter a teenager's house and attack that child, also say that, please bring us lunch or other intoxicants during lunchtime, casting, aspersions on him, entering his house at 10, attacking him with a sickle and attacking his sister because he was of a lower caste, and how dare you complain about us to the teachers.
Absolutely. The state of affairs, Sudha, as you mentioned, and as Dr. Selvi also very categorically mentioned, that these aspects of any society are very unfortunate. And having said that, talking about Tamil Nadu, I for one comes from Bihar. Now, we have had situations like these in the past, but if I may add here, if we talk about, say, state-wise and those notorious states, there are ways and means by which a state can do away with these things. And one thing is obviously transparency in politics. Not long ago, Sudha, I mean, just 2-3 days back, almost all the leading national dailies had a promotional campaign from the DMK government of MK Stalin on the front page. It was heavily publicized that Chief Minister's breakfast scheme for Tamil Nadu schools has been started.
Very good.
And now that is one step ahead. But 2 steps behind, what we are looking at is once again a wristband based on caste, students being beaten, kin being beaten. I think, as you rightly mentioned, my heart goes out, for I don't live in Tamil Nadu. Still, looking at this critical aspect of the societal fabric, I think, scare is the first part that comes to my mind. And secondly, this promising government, which is what, roughly 2.5 years old in Tamil Nadu now?
Yes.
I mean, is failing on its own promises. That is something which is more critical than the data, the number, the statistics we have.
Yeah, and the data and the number, Pankaj, I would request my colleagues to put it up, the caste atrocities in Tamil Nadu. Once again, I am not sitting on judgment on, I am not cherry picking on Tamil Nadu. You can compare it, Pankaj, and say ki the data is worse for others. But the South Indian will speak about a state which is south of India. And Pankaj Mishra said a wonderful thing that yes, you are so way ahead in giving breakfast to little children so that more and more kids can come to school. After all, the midday meal scheme, Pankaj, if you may recall, started by Kamarajar and then taken forward by MGR. This was duplicated and replicated in many states, not only South and Odisha.
Definitely.
Naveen Patnaik the other day said that we took a leaf out of the southern states to start midday meal so that children can come, instead of them being sent to. But you're absolutely right. One step in front and maybe 5 right at the back. Today, both of you, I want you to give me hope. As fellow South Indians, as fellow Tamils, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to evoke Tamil pride here, but sitting in New Delhi, I'm scared for the children. I'm scared for those thousands of kids. You can go to town saying abolish NEET because it leads to the kids being scared. Why don't they do something about these kids, Jagadishwaran? What is the way out?
See, that's what I said. Like, it's not very easy. I mean, this has to come from every single individual. And Justice Chandru might give some opinions on saying how, but it doesn't happen overnight. It starts from every political party. These political parties, they're part of this process. Sometimes they evoke caste factors just to fetch votes. They side with the majority, even if it's not a victim, even if the guy who was killed. So the political parties, the society, I mean, see, I hear that more worse thing. I hear that the teachers associations now they have separate teachers for each caste. There is a Nadar teacher community. There is a Tevar teacher community. That's what's happening in schools in southern parts of Tamil Nadu. And how do you expect these teachers? And I mean, at least in Neri school, these teachers are good. But in many schools,
Yeah,
I
it's
hear
a-
this is the biggest issue.